Hello, and welcome to MPR. I'm your host, Haley Brown. Emerging studies show that most people are still confused by cryptocurrency, no matter how many times men in their mid-20s try to explain it. Emerging studies also show that men in their mid-20s are explaining cryptocurrency poorly. Turkish courts have announced that they will no longer make legal proceedings in cases regarding the name of their country and people being confused over why Turkey is called Turkey. Courts on average receive one case per month regarding the confusion between the American bird and the name of the country in the Middle East. This raises the question: is it perhaps fascist to support both the bird and the country? Courts have made no comment, but other legal officials say this is unlikely to be the case. In other news, more people are moving out of Brooklyn, saying they didn't realize they could pay for more space in places that also aren't on an island. In other news, people moving out of Brooklyn didn't realize it's an island and have since felt unsafe. Some recall worrying primarily over being on an island and fearing that they would float away. We spoke with Brooklyn renter Gail, who has a first-hand take on this issue. I moved here from a very affordable town in the Midwest, where I had a well-paying job right out of college. But I wanted a change of pace and figured it would be wise to drop everything and take my hobby seriously, which is recording synth-based jingles for cat and dog food commercials. Unfortunately, I read online that Brooklyn was nice, but since moving here, the rent is more than what I expected. Like a lot more than what I expected. Fortunately, though, my jingles have gone viral on TikTok, so things haven't been too bad. That was until I found out, like so many other residents, that Brooklyn is an island. Quite frankly, I don't have time to live on an island. I work here, yes, but the sheer fright is not something I have time to pine over. Not only that, but if I have to pay more to live on an island, so do the rats. People don't understand how big of an issue the rats are here. And if I have to pay more to live on an island, these rats have to pay to live more on an island too. I'm sorry, I can't do this interview anymore. Can I take a break real quick? Thank you, Gail. And now we speak to Joe, a rat who lives in Brooklyn. Joe's been here for 29 years, and we want to get a take on what it's like on the other side of the wheel of cheese. Joe, what's it like living in Brooklyn?
Hey, how you doing? I've been here for 29 years, and I always knew it was an island. I don't understand why there's people who, you got these young kids moving here that are younger than me. I'm an old man at this point, but they're moving here, and there's all this panic. Oh, it's an island. It's not, we all knew that, growing up, and when I was just a little rat, we all knew that it was an island, and we'd be over there, and not on the island, and we'd see it from the distance and go, someday I'm gonna live over there, I'm gonna live over there on that island, because this is like living the life of luxury, living in Brooklyn is definitely, not what I'm used to. I had a rough few years in the start, and life wasn't easy. And it's not easy for any rat in New York. I've lost a lot of friends out here. That's been really hard. Uh, you get we don't have a good reputation. Not a lot of people like us. A lot of people, they see you on the subway, and they scream, and quite frankly, it's insulting. It doesn't feel good to be screamed at, because I'm just an honest man. I got a family. I got grand rats. I got mouths to feed, and it's not all like Ratatouille. It's a lot more complicated than that. So I've been living here in Brooklyn now, for years, you know. I remember when Wall Street was booming, and I tried to go over there, and I tried to get a little bit for myself, but that didn't really work out. It's kind of hard to make it into those buildings, really. You get noticed pretty fast, but it's definitely hard. It's not easy being a rat in New York at all. It's not easy being a rat anywhere, really. People see us and they go, ah, they scream, ah, it's a rat, it's a rat, and it's really not fair. And it's insulting, to be quite honest. But yeah, I mean, I love living in Brooklyn. We get the best trash that you can eat, that you can go through. There's a little bit of competition with the raccoons and stuff like that, but because it's an island, they don't really get over here as much, so it's not that bad. It's pretty good eating for us over here, and unfortunately though, there used to be a lot more like meat products over here, but a lot of these young kids, they're like vegan, they're not eating dairy or anything like that. So really, that whole thing about cheese, like, it's hard to find cheese now over in Brooklyn because it's so contemporary with people eating, this like fake cheese and stuff like that. And my son-in-law Vinny, he tried some of the fake cheese, and he almost died. He started coughing and everything. We were like, Vinny, and he was okay, but it was a close call. It was made, I think, with cashews, and so we think Vinny might be allergic to cashews or something like that. But you know, it's just things have really changed, and I like living on an island. I don't mind it. There's more privacy, stuff like that. So if people want us gone, I mean, hey, I've got just as much of a right to be here as you do. I've been here longer, and I do pay. I pay my rent, and it's great. I mean, I get free food, but at what price, because the food is just a lot of organic stuff and a lot of, I mean, I'm a rat, I'll eat whatever, but it's just the times have changed. But yeah, I'm really grateful that you wanted to get the perspective from us as from the rat community. I can only speak for myself, but that's just kind of the experience I've had living here, and I definitely don't plan to go anywhere, and I don't plan on paying any more in rent unless it's absolutely necessary. But I really don't want to go back into the Bronx or anything like that, back into the city, because it's just I'd rather be here. I mean, it's nice. I like the quiet. I like it's just a lot more private, and I do like that. So, yeah. But thank you very much for interviewing me. I gotta go.
There you heard it. Joe told us exactly what it's like to be a rat living in Brooklyn. And quite frankly, I had no idea the challenges that rats face on a day to day basis. And, I've certainly seen rats on the subway in New York, and I have definitely flinched when I've seen them. And quite frankly, that's his take has really pushed me to consider a new perspective. I'll say that. And now a word from our sponsors. Have you ever felt so ashamed of your straight teeth that you wanted to unstraighten them? Do your perfectly proportioned pearly whites allow you more opportunities than people who have yellow roof shingles for chompers? Do you get to yapping and your impeccably aligned chewers steal the show, leaving you going, hey, my eyes are up here? Well, now there's Unbite, a reverse invisible braces. So nobody will see that you're reversing your aligned teeth, but you just want to fit in to feel a little bit more normal. Unbite. Ask your insurance provider today about Unbite options. It's that time that we go to Bookends with Brett. For those who aren't familiar, Brett is our beloved in-house author who shares book ideas with our listeners every week. Hey, Brett, so our listeners are curious this week if you have any book ideas.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you asked. So for this week, I felt inspired after watching Ocean's 11 for the millionth time. I thought how touching yet dramatic and thrilling it would be if I'm picturing like this young hot shot from LA. He finds out that his father died. Sad, I know, but get this. Then he has to travel back home for his inheritance, where he subsequently finds out that he has a brother that he never knew about. The brother, though, turns out he's autistic, but also a savant. So he's incredible with numbers. Like this guy, he's like a beautiful mind, you know? And the hotshot brother, he figures, why don't we go to Vegas? And we get the autistic brother to count the cards, and boom, they're able to make money. They trick the system.
Brett, just real quick. I do believe that this is the plot to Rain Man. Have you ever seen Rain Man?
Not again. Okay. I'm so sorry. This always oh my gosh. I actually haven't seen Rain Man. I don't know what that is, but you're saying that's a movie. That's already like an idea that's out there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Okay. You know what? Just try it. Well, try again next week. There's always next week. So, sorry about that.
That's okay. That's okay, Brett. And now, a word from our sponsors. Have you ever wanted to lessen your carbon footprint while increasing your philanthropic footprint? Well, Tiny House Homeless Homes have you covered. We provide tiny homes to young professionals looking to downsize. The catch? Our tiny homes come built with an actual homeless person who lives in the home as well. Will your experience be unpredictable? Possibly, yes. But isn't that the joy of being young? Now you can give back to your community while also ensuring your carbon footprint is a little bit less. Call 1-800-TINY HOMES Homeless Homes for a free consultation. What do yogurt and hoplite warfare have in common? Find out next week. Also next week, we will be recording our very first microscopic desk concert. It's ants who actually play instruments. A lot of people don't know this, but ants are actually very good at playing miniature saxophones and clarinets. So stay tuned for next week's episode. Thank you.